If I had a 4-year college graduate who comes out with a philosophy degree, and I have someone who's been in marketing for 4 years and doesn't have a degree, and they're the same age, who do you think I'm choosing for the marketing job? The guy that has been successful in marketing for 4 years. To go to college or not to go to college? That is the question in the game of life, and I'm going to show you the data so that you yourself can make an informed decision. And at the very end, I'll give you my honest thoughts and advice. $1.7 trillion, the total of student loan debts in the United States. This is more than the GDP of every country in the world except the top 10 countries. So in other words, young adults in the United States are assuming responsibility for more debt than entire countries produce. Pretty crazy. So you have to start thinking, are they going to be able to make up for that? Welcome to Next, where we help you decide what to do next in life. All episodes are available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts, so listen on whatever is most convenient to you. We also have a free community called Next Free on school.com. It's a completely free community where all we do is provide value and try and help you. The link will be in my bio, so please check it out to connect with other people in a similar situation as you looking to make a change. Please share this podcast with any of your friends that you think will find it valuable. Thanks and enjoy the show. If you are a loving relative or parent that this was sent to by their young one, I'm going to talk to you directly now. Businesses today are not looking for what you think or what you used to think years ago. They don't even look at where you went to school or what you majored in or even what your GPA was. All companies, including mine, care about is your experience and the likelihood that you will be able to be successful in the job you are being considered for. And a large number of jobs out there today, there is no degree for, because the degrees we have now have almost nothing to do with and have not adapted to the new economy and how much it has changed. I know you deeply care about the person you are helping in this decision-making process, and I am telling you that I care just as much. And I do not have anything to gain from any of the decisions that are made, unless maybe if they learn something that adds value to my company and eventually come help me scale my companies. So I make this as unbiased as possible because I have nothing to gain either way. And so here are the worst things about student loan debt. Firstly, is that the interest rates are extremely high. And secondly, is that there is no way to ever bankrupt out of it. This means that once you make this decision, you're responsible for paying it for the rest of your life. I'm going to give that a point in favor of not going to college. Now, let's talk about what you gain when you do pay for college. If you don't graduate high school, you're going to make less than $1 million in the rest of your life, according to statistics. If you receive a high school diploma, you will earn on average $1.3 million over the course of your life. If you have some college but maybe drop out, you'll get to $1.5 million. 2.6, doctoral 3.2, professional 3.6. And remember, that's the average total you'll make over the rest of your life. I'm going to give that a point in favor of education, because these are really substantial increases in income, but they are not free. The debt you incur for a student loan, you can never bankrupt out of, which means you have to pay it until you die, no matter what happens. And you have to make that decision when you are only 18 and have not made any money and don't have any idea how much $250,000 in post-tax income is, or the interest rates that go along with it. You're not paying back $250,000. You are probably paying back at least $500,000 in post-tax income. So what is that going to do to you over the rest of your life? So look at earnings and how they actually increase over time. That's important. When you consider your life, you will have pretty large payments for a very extended period of time. Then in your late 30s, early 40s, when your earnings begin to spike, you will start to catch up. Do you want to start a family? When? When are you going to get married? When are you going to get your first home? These are things you want to do, and you're stuck with this immense debt that you can't get out of with an extremely high interest rate. I think that's another point in favor of not going to college. Those incomes we discussed earlier, those don't all happen at once. That is over the course of your entire life. Most of the earning power comes later on in your career, and the higher degree, the more time it will take to reach that. Some of the lower tiers stay the same over time, but on the other hand, these other ones that you're required to pay for take longer to earn back. So when you're in your late 30s, early 40s, you'll be making more, but you will also have the pull of the debt, payments, and extreme interest that you're carrying, which remember is hundreds of thousands of dollars. You might be thinking now that you shouldn't go to college, but the odds are against you in terms of income. You have only a 7.3% chance of making more than someone with a bachelor's degree if you don't graduate high school. Not to say that someone who is investing in themselves to get more education on your own might not be that 7.3 because you very well could be. That's a 1 in 12 shot. Now, if you finish high school, your chances double of out earning someone with a bachelor's degree. You have a 1 in 6 chance. If you get some college, a 1 in 4 chance. If you get an associate's, you also have around a 1 in 4 chance. If you get a master's, you only have a 6 out of 10 chance of making more than someone with a bachelor's. If you get a doctorate, 7 out of 10. Professional, 8 out of 10 chance of making more than someone with a bachelor's. When you have more skills, you make more money. The question stands, is the earning worth the debt? But in my opinion, this is a clear point for more formal education. Now let's use Buffett's investment question. What is the difference between what you pay and what you get? So if someone says, I want to give you this Lamborghini, you are of course going to say, I want it. Well, what's the price? If they said $10,000, that's an amazing deal. But if they say $1 million, you will say that's terrible. And my point is that it's not about whether more education makes more money or not. It's about whether it's worth what it costs. You can't take what you make and not consider what it costs. I want to make another point here, which is that these percentages also show that 27% of people with a doctorate don't make any more money than someone with a bachelor's degree. This is all to say none of these things are guaranteed. And there's a lot of money you pay for college that goes into advertising that college is a guaranteed way to go. But if you take a look at statistics, you could be one of the 5 or one of the 3 that is below and get all of the downside and none of the upside. Now let's talk about why there is such a gap here. It also depends on the industry you plan on getting into. If you go into services, blue collar, sales, health support, or office jobs, more education doesn't necessarily make a difference, or at least a very minimal amount. If you decide you want to enter tech, science, or health, like doctors, it makes a much bigger difference. And so another big part of this decision is what you want to do for the rest of your life. If you want to go down a very specific career path, accountant, lawyer, doctor, then it probably makes a lot of sense for you. But if you want to be in marketing, sales, or anything blue collar or service, then it probably doesn't make as much sense for you. And I'm going to say that's a draw, a point for both sides. The next question I would ask is if one of the eight people with a high school degree out-earns someone with a college degree, what makes that one person different? There is a research study that looks at this particular question, which is how many of these people who went to college would have succeeded if they didn't go. A big difference is that in general, people that go to college in general have more money, come from higher socioeconomic families, etc. Well, if those people had just gone out on their own into the professional world, would they have just made the same amount of money? The results will interest you. If you are a white or Asian person, you have no value add from college if you control for SAT score, socioeconomic status, and other factors that would differentiate people. On the flip side, if you are Latino or Black, college has a 30 to 40% increase in median earnings. The results, like life, have nuances. It all depends on who you are and where you come from. My theory on the reason for the differential between races is that when you go to college, you can figuratively change your zip code because you change your environment and the people you know, and more importantly, the people you compare yourself to. Poor people can feel rich if they compare themselves to other poor people. But as soon as you get into a room where everyone makes 10 times more money than you, all of a sudden you feel like a poor person. And what do? You change your behavior. College may add value to people who didn't already get that value given to them, which makes a strong argument for being the first person in your family to go to college, because then it actually changes the trajectory of your offspring and your prodigy and your family tree. And if you're not the first person, it makes a lot less of a difference. And the thing that gets a lot of people to win at college is the same thing that gets you to win at business and in life. So the question is college really necessary if you have those characteristics already? Like if you got a high enough SAT score to get into an Ivy League school like Harvard, Stanford, Yale, then you probably are smart enough to do other things without going to Harvard, Stanford, and Yale and still make a lot of money. That is it for today. I hope I provided you with some value. And if I did, please share this with someone else who may find it valuable. Have a great day.